give up their time and put a lot of their own time and effort and petrol money to get here into making this show happen. So ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hands together for all of the volunteers. Thank you. Now, taxiing out in front of us now, we have two RV4s. These are wonderful aeroplanes. I was trying to remember the name of the guy. It's a Dutch name, Richard van der something, but I forgot to write it down, and I can't remember it because it's Dutch. And as we know, the Dutch language is the one that used up all the letters that were left over whenever and make it in your own garage. They have a choice of engines, a choice of styles. They are very, very effective, very well designed, and apparently beautiful to fly aeroplanes. Now, to give you an idea of just how good these aeroplanes are, it says here on my piece of paper that by the end of this year, more than 10,000. Now, leading the formation, we have John Gowdy. He's in Golf Sierra Papa Romeo Kilo, that's the yellow aircraft. And Andy Durston is in Golf Sierra Papa Romeo X-Ray, the red aircraft. They formed in 2015 after John and Andy realised they shared the same ambition to start their own display team. So running in, ladies and gentlemen, we have the 2018 Fireflies. So there they are, pulling up into a nice crooked loop. Starting off in line abreast, that's where the formating aircraft basically has to look over his shoulder the whole time, keep the other one exactly in the same place. Now in an echelon coming in over the top on a half Cuban, they will now roll out, heading downwards. These guys are now into their third season together as the Fireflies, and they're doing around 20 shows a year around Europe, but mostly in the UK. And they are based at a private strip out in the Sussex countryside, so really not that far away. They are also, like to mention, that they are sponsored by Cato propellers. They are now running identical, relatively fine-pitch propellers, which will increase the aerobatic performance of the aircraft. Now, if you are interested in making your own RV, it's very strongly suggested you should visit the website of the Light Aircraft Association, the LAA, who oversee all home-built and sun-light aircraft on behalf of the Civil Aviation Authority, and you'll get all sorts of extremely good information from them. These aircraft can fly with a variety of different engines, usually the flat-four Lycomings, of anything between about 150 and 220 horsepower. These ones are fitted with 160 horsepower, four-cylinder Lycoming engine. Ah, now that's nice. These guys also trailing the Ondine smoke. Now these are, as I said, they have a speed range of anything from 50 miles an hour to 210. And they cruise at 160 miles an hour, which means that it's about getting on for twice as fast as I used to manage in my old aeroplane. And they're aerobatic to +6 or -3G. As you see, very, very nice formation rolls there. Now these guys have over 25 years experience displaying various types of different display teams, and they are ably supported here, and this is very, very important, by their partners who are both themselves aerobatic pilots. Now John Gowdy in the leading aircraft, he started flying when he was 14 years old at Southdown Gliding Club. So kids, if you're interested in flying, there are ways of doing it. You can get into the Air Cadets, you can do all sorts of things. Go gliding, you can do this. He began flying at 17 years old as the tow pilot for a glider display team. Got his commercial license in 2001. He also flew a season with the British Antarctic Survey in 2010, flying around the glaciers and mountains of Antarctica, and was a member of the Twister duo before forming the Fireflies. As a day job, he's a 747 pilot, which is just a bit different for this. And he also flies warbirds for Air Leasing, based up at Sywell. The first one he got his hands on was Caroline Grace's wonderful two-seat Spitfire. Now Andy, following him, at the moment he has a windscreen that's full of the tail wheel of the other aeroplane as he's lying there closely following behind. He started flying at a very young age through gliding at Leon Solent, close to where I was born, and he had a pilot's license before he had his driving license. Shortly afterwards he started gliding, continued power flying with the Southampton University Air Squadron. He joined the Navy in 2005, where he flew Tucano and Hawk and the Harrier. He now also flies 747s for a living. It's a hard life, isn't it? You know, kids, if you want an interesting life like that, get into flying early. It's all possible, you can do it. He also flies for Air Leasing and the Fighter Collection. So another half fielder going up for a roll and then rolling out. So going up for a loop, rolling out and then accelerating back towards each other to the opposite move. Smoke on. Whirlwind tour of the States, which is the sort of thing you can do when you fly 747s for a living. They went just to find the right aircraft. Chose these two, and they were shipped back in the same container after being dismantled. One came from near Baltimore, and the other one came from near Houston. Now, importing an aircraft from the US can be a little bit fraught, especially if it's an experimental. They may have to do a lot of work to get them up to spec to please the Civil Aviation Authority, even through the LAA, the Light Aircraft Association. Some years ago, somebody asked me what my aircraft could cost, and I'm sure it's the same for these guys. I said there are three numbers in aviation. The first is the figure that you own up to your partner. The second is the figure that you own up to yourself when you wake up in the middle of the night screaming. And the third one is what it actually cost you, which is probably number one and number two added together. So here we see Andy in the lead aircraft coming in, having transferred leadership, with John following him. Now, when you consider that these aircraft were designed as a touring aeroplane with the possibility of a bit of aerobatics, you can see exactly how capable they are. About 150 horsepower up. I said these are the 160s. They're Lycoming flat fours in these aircraft. It's a horizontally opposed engine, very similar to the Volkswagen engine, the Volkswagen Camper and Beetle engine, but much bigger. These are 300. It's an O320, which means it's 320 cubic inch, which from memory I think is about 6 litres. So there they are, having done the heart in the sky. Now guys, if you're watching that and you were really smart, you'd have turned around to your loved one and said, I got to do that for you, dear. Mind you, I have tried that and it didn't work. She didn't believe signing tent, along with the B-17.
Okay.
Look at that, nice formation landing. touching down pretty well exactly at the same time. Almost. Little bit of a bouncy, but not a problem. So it is now my pleasure to pass you over to Master Aircrew Vince Bartlett of the Royal Air Force Chinook Display Team.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the 2018 Royal Air Force Chinook Display here at Dunsfold.